Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
Oh.
It's just like comedians, and they have like American comedians on this.
I know the ones.
This, yeah.
Yeah.
Shane Gillis?
Yeah.
Whoa, is he related to Dobie?
Maybe.
That's pretty good.
They
You
don't-
should have had that on record. You should be recording.
Maybe I do.
Ah.
I need something for the cold open.
Dobie, da 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 da. Dobie, da 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 da. Dobie wants a gal who's dreamy. Dobie wants a gal who's creamy. Dobie wants a gal to call his own. Is she blonde? Is she tall? Is she dark? Is she small? Is she any kind of dreamboat at all? No matter. He's hers and hers alone. Dobie.
Welcome to the only podcast about the many loves of Dobie Gillis. Okay. I know what you're going to say. Lenny's in love again, right? Well, you're wrong. I'm not in love again. I'm in love at last. I've bid farewell to the aimless days of flitting from one co-host to another, like a bee buzzing from flower to flower. From now on, only one co-host is going to get stung. And what a co-host he is. Cardo. Dear, sweet Cardo. The very thought of him fills my heart with sweet, tender memories. He makes me think of lovely, soft music.
I question... Hello, everyone.
You're supposed to come in with the music, like in the episode.
The harp.
Yeah, the harp.
Oh, you don't remember the episode at all. That's typical Cardo.
I question what tender memories this woman who he's known for maybe a week is bringing up for him.
We don't know how long
Previous
it's been.
failures of other women, or just the memory of failure who this woman looks almost exactly like.
Yeah.
Oh, also introducing our very first guest. We got Isaac.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
Isaac, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah.
I'm a tradie. I'm a fan of the show. Long-time listener, first-time guester.
Nice.
Uh,
Fan of our show or
yeah,
the show?
your show and the show.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Doula, yeah.
So, have you only seen the episodes that Carter's seen?
Yes, yeah. I didn't want to get too far ahead and spoil it for myself. Yeah.
Perfect. We got that relatability that we were after.
Yeah. Maybe we should go for a short, middle, long approach. Like, you've seen the whole show. I've seen only the episode we're up to. Maybe we need to find a guest who's seen 2-3 seasons.
Yeah.
Has a nice taste. Knows a little more than me, but not quite.
Who's watching this show?
Yeah.
Like, you need some, like, boomer that's been, like, some 60-year-old in a
Yes.
nursing home.
Someone who's only caught
60-year-old in the nursing home.
Someone who's only caught the reruns, you know?
Yeah.
Someone who tuned in at 2 a.m. on
Just
Channel 9 and...
The best hits only.
Yeah, just caught the old... Oh, I know this guy from Gilligan's Island. He's good, isn't he? But she's not talking to anyone. Pulls out and she's alone.
We should go through the comments before
Yes.
we get into
Do
the
we have any
episode
comments?
itself. Yes. We had some... Because we didn't talk about the comments on episode 2 because there weren't any yet by the time we did episode 3.
Yep.
We got some comments on episode 2 and episode 3.
All right, let's go through them. And hopefully they're not all from Isaac.
First up, Isaac commented on episode 2. He said, "What is a creamy girl? The way Dobie crinkles his face back at Zelda was so uncomfortable, physically cringed." And he also said the audio was quiet, which I thought I fixed on episode 3, but apparently not.
So if we
No.
decided that it's a crinkle, because I at the time I think I called it a wink and a nuzzle. And then we talked of it being an Eskimo kiss. Do you see it
Yeah.
the same way?
Yeah, in a way. I think a crinkle sort of encapsulates it a little bit better because it just, there's that sort of like sharpening of the nose or something. Yeah.
He does our job better than us, Len.
The second comment, Isaac commented on episode 3.
Long time fan.
He said, "Hashtag Team Len, quite easy to get. Can't believe the several rewinds. Skill issue."
Can we talk about... I saw a Team Cardo comment in there.
Someone called For the Creed 1990 said, "Hashtag Team Cardo. He was indecipherable. Also the guy who sang the intro sounds handsome." So you have an admirer.
Yeah,
Crazy.
I do. I have a creepy Dobie following me around somewhere.
might end up with a pen pal.
Here's to hoping. Here's to hoping.
He's found a nice pen for you, so let's get in it. Wait, how does it go?
What the heck are you talking about?
You remember in episode 2 or 3? No, never mind. You don't remember anything from these episodes.
I thought you were going like a Pen 15 joke just then.
No.
In one ear and out the other, man. That's how these episodes go for me.
So I'm not going to be able to reference the previous episodes at all.
Maybe a little. The ones I liked.
We also got another comment that was today, so it's not in my notes.
Oh, fresh off the press.
Whoa.
Fresh off the press, yes, exactly. It was from someone called eevans0052, hashtag Team Len, but he definitely said, forget about that shit.
Oh,
I don't think he did understand that.
A third
And
opinion.
he said, also, Sanitarium, if you're listening this show, give them the spawn already. They can do a sports segment. You seem to like that kind of thing.
Interesting. Do we know an E. Evans?
That is...
I have a feeling.
I don't know. Could be anyone.
And who's Sanitarium? Is that
They're the people who make the weekends.
Yeah,
Yes.
it must be. Yeah.
So, what do you reckon? Sports segment?
Yeah, we'd have to be specific with the sport, and the sport would have to be tennis for me to contribute anything. But even then, although if we stuck with football, the podcast would retain its format because I know nothing about football and you are an ardent follower. So,
we're probably going to end up talking about football today, given the subject matter of one of the episodes, if you remember it all.
oh, I certainly do. Yes, not our brand of football though, mate.
No. So we're talking about season 1, episode 7. Greater Love Hath No Man, from November 17th, 1959. That week, Mount Kilauea erupted in Hawaii, and The Sound of Music premiered on Broadway. And I couldn't find the third thing. It was a slow news week. In this episode, as Cardo was saying, Dobie is in love with this new girl called Pearl, and he's trying to tell Maynard all about it, but Maynard is an ace icon, so he's like, not me, I'm built different, none of that shit. And then Maynard runs into Pearl behind this weird tree thing. Like, they couldn't film them actually bumping into each other for some reason. They put the tree in the way just to make the blocking easier, I guess.
Maybe there was a no-touch clause in her contract or something. I don't know.
I'm gonna touch that beatnik. Get him away from me.
Yeah, I was thinking, she dances with Dobie later on in the episode. So maybe it's just
true.
Maynard is too dirty. Yeah, no, this was a stinker episode. Dobie accidentally locks Herbert in the freezer. And for some reason, the freezer doesn't open from the inside. I don't understand why they would design it like that.
It's pretty common, I think. For that time, there used to be like heaps of deaths, like freezer-related deaths.
But why don't they put a door handle on the inside? What is the reason? Surely there's a reason behind all these people's deaths, or is it just senseless violence?
So if you do trap someone in that you don't want to leave, they can't get out, you know? If you got
I don't know.
a neighbour you don't like, or an animal that you intend to slaughter later.
So specifically for the intent of murder.
Yeah, malicious intentions, yes.
I think so, yeah. Lots of things were designed that way. Have you heard of the guillotine?
Okay, so Dobie attempts to murder his father. And then Herbert grounds him so he can't go out for a whole month. But Dobie really wants to go out with this Pearl girl, and so Maynard pretends to be Dobie goes under the covers pretending to be Dobie in bed. And then Herbert comes in wanting to have a conversation with him, and there's that whole sequence with the ice cream.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that?
I love that.
I loved it. It was very funny. There is no way Herbert wouldn't have known something was up, but I love it all the same. The shot of Maynard under the covers with the 2 ice blocks in his hand is classic. It is perfect.
You're eating 2 at once.
I feel bad for whoever has to wash those sheets as well.
Yeah.
Which would assumedly be Winnie.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's the mother?
Yeah.
Yeah. Took me like 3 episodes of the pod to remember her name. I totally whiffed it last time. But Winnie and Herbert's locked in now.
When he first comes in through the window, Maynard, and he gets into the bed. He's got his grocery bag with him, and he flips it out onto the bed, and there's groceries everywhere. I'm like, that's disgusting. Like, I can't stand food or like pets or animals in the bed at all.
He has his shoes on the bed as well.
Yeah, I'm like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
And then, he gets under the covers 2 ice creams. It's a fucking mess. And then the next scene, it's implied that they shared the bed.
Yeah!
Yeah.
I didn't understand what was going on.
Yeah. It's like, that would be a fucking disgusting bed. Imagine being Dobie walking into your bed, like ice cream and fucking apple cores and like, why?
Maybe it's not the first time Maynard's like slept over and he's used to this kind of environment for sleeping. Yeah. But we haven't talked about the fact that Jerome is nowhere to be seen.
Oh, yeah. Who's Jerome? I don't remember him at all.
The guy you told me replaced Maynard permanently last episode, and that Maynard was drafted and would never return. And he came back because Maynard words it in a particular way.
Hardship discharge.
It's a hardship discharge for the army itself.
In that episode, the episode where they introduce Jerome, Maynard says that he's an orphan, and Maynard's parents Maynard goes to the army, his parents start looking after Jerome, and then Maynard comes back from the army, they are looking after Maynard again, and where does Jerome go?
I'm not
back
sure.
to the orphanage?
I don't know, he might still be hanging out at the house, but now that, like, Dobie can only have one sidekick. Actually, that's disproven next episode. Yeah. But as of the time of recording this episode, Dobie can only have one sidekick. One beatnik sidekick at a time.
So Jerome is just somewhere in the background.
Yeah, he might be hanging out. People disappear on this show all the time for episodes. You know, Thalia is nowhere to be seen in, spoiler alert, either of these 2 episodes.
In the next episode, the third sidekick disappears halfway through the episode.
What, Randy?
Yeah.
He is indispensable. He's crucial to the plot. The episode would fall apart without Randy.
Wait, let's stick with episode 7 for now.
It's funny as in the Herbert and Maynard scene when he says, it's because of those guys you're hanging out with, like Maynard. That spooky clown Maynard would give anybody the creeps. Spooky clown. So Dobie finds Maynard asleep at the statue, and Maynard is like, man, I didn't get any sleep at all last night. You kept moaning and going, Pearl, Pearl. So what's the sequence of events, alright? So Dobie came home and slept in the bed with Maynard.
Assumably.
Yeah, but he was
And all the ice cream.
Maynard then had to leave.
Go to the park.
Why didn't Maynard go home?
And also Maynard, it's the second iteration of Maynard carrying the idiot ball where he probably shouldn't. Where like, but he doesn't know her name at this point.
Yeah.
So it actually does check out that Pearl Pearl would mean nothing to him. Plot hole sealed.
So
no, it makes no sense anyway.
Yeah. I think, they could have been a lot clearer about the sequence of events there. It feels like there's a scene missing or a few lines of dialogue missing at least. Dobie is super grateful to Maynard and he wants to repay him, and Maynard tells him about this girl that he ran into, but he doesn't have the confidence to talk to her, and Dobie vows to help him like Cyrano de Bergerac. They go to the malt shop to find her, because apparently she goes to the malt shop every day. And Dobie finds out that the girl that Maynard is into is Pearl. Who would have guessed?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, the audience actually knows before that, but Dobie just found out. The bit of Dobie crawling out of the doors of the mug shop is so classic. Like, Maynard couldn't see him because he was crawling.
Yeah, he turns around, he's instantly got... Well, there was like a sea of people in between Maynard and Dobie at that point, so...
Maybe. Dobie is conflicted because he thinks that the right thing to do would be to set up Maynard with his girlfriend, even though his girlfriend doesn't even know Maynard past bumping into him.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it shows his loyalty as a friend, but it's really absurd for him going at the start of the episode like, she reminds me of, sweet memories, and she's the only thing that's ever mattered to me ever. Also, just no mention of Thalia. And to like, yeah, whatever. She's easy come, easy go. Let's let Maynard have her. You know?
I think it's opposite to that. I think he loves Maynard so much, and Maynard always does in these solids that he's like, I have to give back to my boy.
I mean, I see the honor in it. Don't get me wrong.
But it's also really, really objectifying. Like, treating her as a gift.
She can just be passed around to whatever guy desires her most at that particular time. Yeah.
Well, it was a different time. I wrote down the interstitial stings are really off the chain in this episode. There are lots of bits where something will happen and then the chorus will be like,
I don't remember a one.
No, I didn't remember saying that.
You guys gotta listen harder. Dobie, like, tries to... Well, he breaks up with Pearl and he's saying, like... He thinks he's the greatest guy in the world for doing that, like, treating her like shit.
Yeah. His excuses are terrible, too. He's like, I belong to all women.
I shouldn't be stuck with you. And she's like, stuck! And he's like, I gotta be free like a bird. And she says, well, flap off, buzzard! And at the end, when she's walking away, she says, who stretches your hats for, you buster?
Yeah, I was wondering about the hat stretching.
What the fuck does that
He's
mean?
got a big head.
Oh, okay.
So somebody has to stretch his hats for him. Don't worry, I had to look that up as well. I had to figure that out.
That's my knee pads thing.
Dobie gets Maynard to call up Pearl's house. And yeah, he calls up Pearl and arranges a date with her. But if you can imagine being Pearl on the other side of that phone, it's like, how did she accept any of those
Yeah,
terms?
they were all incomplete sentences to the point where I think all the context was pretty much lost.
Yeah.
And also, wouldn't you just get the ick? But
Yeah.
somehow they manage it. A bit that I love in this episode, and great physicality by Maynard, is him just constantly trying to exit the room.
Yeah.
The subject is on Pearl. And he does it a couple times on the phone as well. And it's it's hysterical. But imagine being, if you were on the other end of that phone call, you would assume someone was kidnapped or something.
Yeah. Yeah, they set up the date and Maynard is supposed to go, but he bails and goes to Dobie's house. And so Dobie seems really worried about something and Winnie is trying to ask him what's wrong. And then Maynard walks in with like wearing a tie and like holding flowers. And Dobie is like, oh, would you excuse us for a second, Mum? And
yeah, Dobie says something along the lines of like, I'm about to make a decision that's going to like change the course of my very life or something like that. And it's a very like unusual line. And that's right before Maynard comes in with the tie.
And then Winnie has this look on her face like she doesn't know what's going on, but she leaves and it's like, they don't follow up on that. That could be a great bit.
Yeah, I assume they were going to go like the bromance direction. Like Winnie thinks he's like gay.
Yeah.
Because Maynard comes in like carrying the flowers or whatever.
Yeah.
But they do not pursue that lead at all.
On this Mother's Day episode of the show.
We didn't even mention.
This is to all you mamas out there. This is... Winnie deserved more. She should have gotten a whole plot line in this episode about trying to investigate what was going on.
There's less... In 2026, the standard, boring, thin tie has taken over this society. And I miss the short, chunky tie with the high pants. That shit owned.
Maynard's tie is broad. Maynard wants Dobie to come with him on this date because he's nervous, and Dobie comes with him and they both meet Pearl, and Pearl sees Dobie and she's like, oh, okay, you can finally explain what's been going on. At that point I was like, okay, so Pearl knew that it was Dobie on the phone setting up Maynard maybe, and she was onto it.
Yeah, she
Not
knew
really
it was
explained.
awkward. I think maybe she said that because the assumption I made when I was watching the episode is that she said explain what's going on because Maynard was super late. That's what I thought. Because he had gone to Dobie's house instead. And I think it's kind of implied that she was waiting there a while because when we first see her in there, you know, she's like at the table already. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I thought she said that, like, you know, what's going on? Like, why is this guy late? Oh, Dobie, you're here with Maynard, who I'm meant to meet. Maybe you can explain why he's late. That's how I interpreted it.
No, I missed that. I thought she was saying like, oh, can you explain to me why you broke up with me?
That's
what I was getting.
That might have been it as well.
Oh, okay. Well, it just goes to show just how well this episode reads overall at a single pass. Not to spoil our thoughts, but Dobie also like weirdly goes in there with the plan of acting like he doesn't know Pearl.
Yeah.
Like there's a few lines of like, oh yeah, here.
How did he think he was going to get away with that?
Oh yeah, this is there. Yeah, and then like she's right there. It just doesn't. Almost nothing in this episode passes at all. Just the slightest sniff test.
like Dobie and Pearl are supposedly so in love, but Pearl has never met Maynard before or even seen Maynard. She bumps into him and she's not like, oh, you're Dobie's friend or anything like that.
Well, he was drafted.
Oh yeah, he did just come back. That's true. Alright. Whole sealed. So yeah, and then Dobie and Maynard are both basically bickering about the other one should be the one to quote get Pearl, you know, and while they're busy like arguing with each other, Pearl leaves and starts dancing with some other guy.
Yeah.
And she says...
It would have been an excellent Milton moment.
Oh!
I thought it was Milton.
Yeah, at first I saw like the neat haircut. I thought this is Milton, but at a closer inspection, it was not Milton.
That would have been a total Milton moment.
Yeah. That's a new segment.
Yeah.
Milton moments. For any episode that's got Milton in it, we all got to name our favourite Milton moment.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I mean, Bing Bong's got to be it.
Of course. That's the Milton moment of the whole show so far.
There is like one scene when Dobie and Pearl are dancing. There's a close up on Maynard's face, and he looks like 40 years old. It's like what did the US Army do to him? Like,
he's been through some shit.
Yeah, I want to think about this timeline because you told me that Maynard had actually been drafted. The actor for him had actually been drafted.
Yeah, he did actually get drafted. That's true.
So was that incidental? Like they didn't write the drafting episode based on the fact that he was going to go get drafted?
So
because he's back so soon, or did they film a bunch? And
he failed the physical exam.
Really?
Yeah, because he had a neck injury. And so he got drafted, but he didn't actually go and serve in the army or anything.
Right.
That's fantastic. So you withheld that from me.
And also, he missed out on like one episode is all he missed out on was like one Jerome episode.
Yeah.
That's pretty like fortuitous for him, I guess.
Yeah, I guess he just couldn't make that one filming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they filmed them all in order, but he did come back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's missing from a few others. Maybe they were shuffled around.
We'll
have to see.
That would make sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe Jerome makes a reappearance.
He may do. Yeah. And Len will not tell us.
He might do. He might do. When Dobie and Maynard were bickering at the end, what Pearl should have done was crawl out of the malt shop the same way that Dobie did. That would have been so funny.
He should have put us in charge of it. Imagine the back-to-back of Milton being the guy that she's dancing with and then her crawling out.
Wait,
everything. Everything.
How do you have both?
They got to go with one of our suggestions, man.
Yeah. We should have been there in the writer's room.
If only, man. Yeah. We could have stopped the blatant sexism and the numerous plot holes.
And we finally have a product sponsorship in the credits.
Yeah. I noticed that as well.
I noticed that as well.
I think it was cigarettes? Or?
No, it was Pillsbury, which is like a bakery brand in the US. It's basically their version of Tip Top.
Oh, really?
You may have heard of the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't follow up on it because I didn't want to Google anything. You know, I wanted to be the wide-eyed, not knower of stuff that I come into these with.
I thought it was spirits because it says Pillsbury, and under the Pillsbury logo, it's like XXXX.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, sure, it's like spirits or beer or something.
Hey,
like
maybe
that.
they
Just kind of be doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe they did that. But maybe they did make other stuff back then. I don't know. But they're known as making like cake and bread and stuff like that. So yeah, the first few episodes I've been telling you, oh yeah, they have the sponsorship products in the credits, and then they're never there.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
But it was actually there. So now we're ready for You Rank. On this show, we rank each episode on a 7-tier scale. If you thought it was the best of the very best, the absolute pinnacle of Gillisery, it gets a great tawny animal. If you thought it was really good, it gets a real human being. If you thought it was pretty good, it gets a good buddy. If you thought it was just, it's okay, it gets a no offense, none taken. And we get an embryonic version of no offense, none taken in this episode with the nothing personal made it. And if you thought it was a bit hard to get through, you give it a work. If you thought it was just bad, it gets a nasty, nasty boy. And if you think it should be struck from the record entirely, never to be seen by human eyes again, it gets, I gotta kill that boy, I just gotta.
I think we should give our guests the honour of assigning, or being the first to assign this one tier.
I might just say it first. I really thought you had that written down and you read that every time you say that, but I just watched you close your eyes and just memorize that whole thing. I'm actually aghast.
Well, the first couple times I had it written down, but now it's on the dome
Lost
forever.
my memory.
We even added a tier and he slotted that right in.
I'm going to give it a good buddy. I liked it a lot.
You did? Okay. Yep.
Well, I'm going to get controversial.
Yeah.
This one, to me, is going to nasty, nasty boy.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing ever, but I was not a fan.
Yeah, this episode has a couple good moments, but it's, I would agree that it's not to the standard that Dobie has set so far.
Where are you putting it?
I reckon I would say this episode is a work!
Oh, you think it's a work? Should we try and peek the mic with a work?
Gotta explode the mic.
I think the reason I like it so much is because it was like the fraternal element. It was like, you know, they're like, Dobie like loves his friend and like, you know, it's not just like all about like, how can I like get this girl to like me? Like, you know, it's
I just feel like, doesn't this episode just function so much better if Pearl is Thalia? And it's funny that Maynard just has this interaction with Thalia and falls in love with her, and then there's more tension throughout as well. Doesn't it just work better if it's her and not someone who looks exactly like her but a bit older? Like, it felt so weird to me that they wouldn't lean on, and maybe Tuesday was busy.
Yeah, I mean...
She's only available once a week.
Maybe they could... Holy shit. I'm clipping that up. Now it's time for a segment called Bach Me Dead. In this segment, Cardo answers a simple trivia question about his favourite figure from the 18th century. Bach.
Fuck me.
No, Cardo, it's called Bach Me Dead.
Yeah, I can answer anything about Buck.
Yeah, okay.
I know him front to back. To Buck.
We're starting off this week with a simple question. You should be able to ace this.
I will.
Alright. What is Bach's full name? A. Johann Friedrich Bach. B. Heinrich Sebastian Bach. C. Johann Sebastian Bach. Or D. Christoph Friedrich Bach.
That's Johann Sebastian Bach. We're going for C.
That's correct.
I told ya.
Bach me dead.
I know everything about Bach.
Alright, we'll find out in later episodes. That's it for Bach me dead this week. And don't you dare study him in the break.
I don't need to.
I can see you looking up his biography right now.
And now it's time for our final edition of Tuesday Weld-schmertz. Even though she wasn't in either of these episodes, I think we owe it to her to do the service.
We got to know how the story ends.
From 1965 to 1971, Tuesday was married to screenwriter Claude Hartz. In the divorce settlement, she was awarded $100 a month in child support payments, which converts to $100 in 19... You can guess too, Isaac. Whoever's closest to the pin gets the points. $100 in 1971.
1971.
So this is... I can't use my normal formula
No,
for this.
yeah.
This is 10, 20 years in the future.
I'm not going to think about it. Pure instinct, $400.
400 from Isaac.
All right. I'm going to think about it a little more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with $720.
Right. And Cardo is the winner. It's $815.34.
Can't beat me, mate. Not at this one.
He's got practice. So, in the 70s, Tuesday was at the height of her powers, starring in I Walk the Line with Gregory Peck, A Safe Place with Jack Nicholson and Orson Welles, and Play It As It Lays with Anthony Perkins, for which she was nominated for a Golden Globe. She was in Looking for Mr. Goodbar in 1977, for which she was nominated for an Academy Award. From 1975 to 1980, she was married to comedian Dudley Moore. In the divorce settlement... No!
A name I actually know for once!
Cardo, how do you know Dudley Moore?
I have listened to an inordinate amount of Peter Crook and Dudley Moore, who were a very, very popular comedic duo.
It's like a radio show?
Yeah, I think most of their stuff is like, you can get it like on vinyl.
Whoa!
But they did like skits in a similar way to I think they might have even worked in some capacity with Monty Python at some point. But yeah, hilarious guys, prolific comedians. And Dudley Moore, I think, also excellent pianist. Yeah.
Yes, so she was married to him for 5 years, until 1980. In the divorce settlement, she was awarded $2,500 a month in child support payments, which converts to...
What year is it now?
1980. $2,500 in 1980.
Let's go. I'm just going to say that it is $8,800.
I'm going to go 7-2.
All right, and Cardo is the winner again. It's $10,018.60.
Can't beat me, mate. Not this one.
Completely not.
She was in heaps of TV movies. She preferred doing TV over studio films, stating, "What I dig about TV is the pace. 2 weeks for even a heavy part. Great. Too much thinking about a role is a disaster for me. I mean, let's do it. Let's get it done." She's got that go-getter attitude.
Can do attitude, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't want to like dwell on a role for ages.
She might get like lost in it like a Jared Leto or something like that. You get sucked into it.
She goes too method, man.
That tracks for her. She's, like a assertive kind of woman. Like, let's do it. Let's get it done.
I don't want to be in successful movies. I just want to be in TV movies.
That's the craziest quote ever.
She earned an Emmy nomination in 1983 for her role in The Winter of Our Discontent. She was nominated for a BAFTA for her role in Once Upon a Time in America in 1984. She's basically got a nomination for an EGOT at this point. Between her marriages, she dated people like Al Pacino, David Steinberg, Mikhail Baryshnikov, Omar Sharif, Ryan O'Neal, and Richard Gere.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a long list.
From 1985 to 2001, she was married to conductor Pinchas Zuckerman. In the divorce settlement, she was awarded... How much child support do you think she was awarded?
What year is it now?
2001.
2,500 in the 80s, so surely she's getting like...
We have to not only do like a conversion, but then also assume that things have gotten a little bit more progressive and perhaps child support has gone up in general. So...
I reckon $5,000 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the other ones. How much per month?
$5,000 is good, I think. I'm going to go $6,000.
Alright, and the answer is... Guys, she did get child support. They were married when she was in her 50s. Come on, get your head in the game.
Oh, shut the...
They could have adopted. That was a thing back in that time,
Not like now when they got rid of those barbaric practices.
Yeah.
Can we just insert a little... Can't be me, mate. Not of that one.
She retired from showbiz to a quiet life in Colorado after that. She moved back to Hollywood in 2018 and she's still going strong there at age 82.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting life.
Yeah, she was like one of the most popular and successful like people back then, dating all these like amazing people and like being in all these prestigious movies, and we never heard of her until now.
Yeah. Like, I guess that happens if you don't want to be in famous movies. You sort of fly under the radar. But yeah.
I mean, you work with fucking Orson Welles, and you'd think that we would have heard of.
Is there a picture of her currently that we can see?
There are some pictures of her that are sort of recent. I don't think they're like current, but
Jamie, pull that one up. We need a pull it up guy for this podcast, I think.
We need to pull it off.
We need
on
to-
this podcast.
We need to pull off guys on this podcast.
We had a guy at work. We have to like blow down the roofs as we're working. And then my coworker told my boss, Benny, we need a bloke up here 24/7 just blowing. And he's not lived it down since.
hopefully I don't knock over the mic this time. But this is a picture of her from 2023.
She's still pretty. She's
2023. I knew that was the reason you wanted to pull
You
her
wanted
up.
to see how she'd aged. Is that
Yeah,
right? I say?
yeah.
Like,
She
it's
is. She's still.
like-
She's a lovely looking
I
lady.
think it's a
This
fair enough
stage.
thing. Like Hollywood,
She
you know.
spent her whole life objectified. And
Yeah, I'm not going to let her get away with not being objectified.
To those listening at home, we don't have a video version of this podcast yet, but let it be known that the joke of Len knocking over the mic is really funny because the mic is now positioned at a place where it would be impossible for him to knock it over.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Thanks, Cardo. I needed people to know that. Next, we're talking about Season 1, Episode 8, The Old Goat, from November 24th, 1959. That week, Ben-Hur debuted, Alice and Janney was born, and the United Nations passed the Declaration of the Rights of the Child.
Wow.
Too little too late for Tuesday Weld, am I right, guys?
Oh.
Alright, fellas, what happened in this episode?
The Dobler is once again looking for love. And this time, I feel like these episodes like almost flip-flop in this way, where we have one classic and then one more experimental take. And then back to more of a classic format. Anyway.
I'm trying to figure out which one's the classic and which one's the experimental.
I guess this one was sort of experimental. Clearly, the only way to win the affection of women is to make sure that their football team wins the football game.
Is that why he does it?
I didn't think he was inspired by women at all this episode. I thought he was just like, I hate the opposite football team.
Really?
That's how I felt.
Yeah, I mean, the women come into it at the afterwards when they had the pact and everything.
Perhaps it isn't this time around. I just remember the scene where he's covered in women and I was just, cause and effect. Just didn't.
When he's like, Ted, I love you, buddy, but you gotta get out of here. You're taking up a space that I'm
In order to take down the enemy team and also win the favor of those around him, which I believe is in the subtext at the very least.
Sure. I mean, why does Dobie do everything?
Dobie, yeah. The show's called. Anyway, he orchestrates a heist on the mascot goat of the enemy team, which involves breaking into the assumedly barn where it's kept.
The agricultural department.
Yes, the agricultural department where they... I love this line for some reason. They'll have a couple of guys guarding it. like a school would have like a couple of students like guarding the
Like after hours as well.
Yeah, well, they did justify it. They had a line earlier on where Maynard is like, "Oh, as if we're gonna steal the goat. Did you know what happened to those guys who tried to do it last time? And the Webster guys caught him and clobbered him."
So there's impetus for them to guard it because they know it's not the first heist on the goat.
I guess it's like their good luck charm. If they didn't have it, they might like lose the football game.
It's their Indian sign, as Charlie Wong calls it.
Yeah, what the hell was
It's like
up
a
with that?
curse, I think.
Like,
a
yeah.
bad luck curse, I think, is
Yeah,
what that means.
That was so jarring to hear. Like, then it was like they said like 5 times over in that like one scene. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, they did really use that term over and over. The heist plan involves Maynard sneaking in and opening the gate where the goat is kept, while I believe it's Dobie dangling the carrot.
From a window.
Yeah, Dobie in from a window with a large fishing line of some description dangling a carrot to lead the goat out.
And Randy is there.
Randy's he's pivotal to the plan. Maynard nearly gets caught because the gate is incredibly squeaky. But thankfully, Maynard, being the resourceful man that he is, brought his can of WD-40 to grease the hinges of the gate. The hero that he is.
Thankfully, the guards are doing their one fucking job.
Should we check on that?
Nah, you can check on it later. What do you mean check on it later?
It was his turn. It was his turn. He had to play his cards.
But then they lose the carrot. They lose the carrot, and the spare was eaten by Maynard. So they have to devise a new plan to get the goat out of there. While a bespoke soundtrack is playing. Classic heist, spy, thriller kind of soundtrack is going on. The plan involves calling themselves women.
Yes.
And waiting outside.
Hortense and Gwendolyn.
And I love that I don't know if these women are women that these guys already know or if they just contextually picked it up from a little bit of conversation, but one of them calls dibs on Hortense.
Yeah! And he says, I love those girls with the low-pitched voice.
So
that's such a funny line.
Part 2 of the plan goes off without a hitch. The fellas burst on through. They get covered in rugs and taped and forced to the ground as the goat escapes.
Yeah.
But then they must decide where to put the goat.
Back to that scene again. I don't understand why they needed the fishing line. Why didn't Maynard just have a carrot with him and just lead the goat out? That would have been far more efficient than trying to dangle it along. He's already in there, like...
They needed a job for Randy to do.
Maynard.
And so he was holding the pole for Dobie up until Dobie needed to actually do the job.
Yeah.
Well, Maynard was opening the gate. Like,
Yeah,
he was busy.
He'd probably eat the other carrot as well.
Oh yeah, true.
He was busy.
It would be too tempting for him.
Yeah.
And then when they throw the blankets over the Webster's boys, you can see Dobie just like twirling rope around them. And it's not like, it's supposed to like them tying him up or something like that, but it just like looks so fake. It looks like so, like, he's not doing anything. He's just
so
like dancing
loose.
around them.
It's so loose. I think I said it was tape earlier. It might well be rope, but it's so loose.
Yeah.
It doesn't pass even as like a proper way to restrain these people. But maybe we're getting too semantic on it. They decide to store the goat at Maynard's, I believe. And this is where it gets a little hazy for me. So, I don't pick us up from here.
Yeah, so they go back to Maynard's and then they leave the goat there because Maynard's room is in the back of the house. It's separate from the main house. And no one will suspect it to be there. No one would even know it was there. Then the boys, the three of them, Dobie, Maynard, and Barry? Randy.
Come on, mate. He's important to the plot.
He's pivotal.
He doesn't get replaced with Ted.
They pledge to an oath of silence to not tell anyone about the goat, no matter what.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, they're in the malt shop. And then the owner of the malt shop is saying, "You guys hear? Like, the goat's gone. Like, these guys are going to get wiped in the football."
Give him his proper name. Charlie Wong. The new Charlie Wong, who looks completely different to the old Charlie Wong.
Oh, is that not a new character? They just replaced the actor.
They call both of them Charlie and Mr. Wong.
Yeah, right. Oh, I thought that was another character.
Maybe it's another guy whose name is also Charlie Wong.
Maybe now, yeah.
It's a familiar name.
Wong is all like, man, if I knew the people who took that goat, I would give them this specific...
Egg foo cherry frappe.
I would give them specifically an egg foo cherry frappe.
An egg foo is like a Chinese omelette with a bunch of vegetables in it.
Frappe.
And the boys are like, man, this is really worth breaking the oath over.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold you.
Like, Maynard is tempted by that egg foo cherry frappe. Yeah. Dobie's tempted by the women.
Yeah. He goes over that girl with the pixie
Lola.
Lola, yeah.
This is such a weird world where it's such a liminal space in time where Pearl feels like she's from like the 1930s. And then Lola feels like she's from the 1980s.
But we haven't even gotten to the third woman, Vivian, yet.
Yeah.
And she's like on another axis. These people.
Yeah, and then Dobie gets tempted by the women and he's like about to spill his guts to this girl so she'd like him, and then Maynard, he like drums a little beat, and then like I can't remember what he sings, but it's quite good.
Something about honouring the oath.
Yeah.
He says like, a man shouldn't hedge when he's taking a pledge or something like that. So Dobie instead says, Lola, your eyes are like 2 teaspoonfuls of the Mediterranean.
I gotta say, for an off the cuff, this wasn't what I planned. It's not too bad. It's not a complete butchering. If it was me, I would have just like
never mind.
Turn around. But I suppose he's used to, at this point, very much used to just saying outlandish, creepy similes to women.
That's
his thing. Pull that one out.
Yeah.
He had that one loaded up already. I mean, he's a poet.
True.
He loves poetry in that one episode.
He does. Is it straight after this where they bump into... No, they bump into the copper when they're trying to...
No, the next scene...
There's the whole Vivian bit.
The next scene is they're back in the barn. It's like the Webster's boys.
Yeah.
Like the opposing football team. And they're like, we gotta find this goat. Did you guys see them or whatever? And then this one, they like deduce... Someone said they felt Maynard's beard. And they're like, there's only one guy that has a beard. It's Maynard. And then the next
one guy that hangs out with Maynard.
Yeah, it's Dobie. And that guy knows everything about Dobie.
Yeah! He says that Dobie is Maynard's sidekick. Like, we've been watching this show all wrong.
So these guys who go to another school know this. But Pearl... from last episode, who quote Dobie has seen around class, so we know she goes to the same school, has no idea that these guys know each other. They're fucking idiots.
Maybe that guy from Webster's is really into Dobie. Is like got like he's one of the many loves of Dobie Gillis.
Is he the same guy who likes the chicks with the low pitch voice?
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe he's just closeted.
Right after Dobie says a thing about 2 spoonfuls of the Mediterranean, those girls are like, oh, we should get out of here. We should go to Felicia's. If anyone knows about who stole the goat, she'll know. Cardo, do you remember Felicia? Felicia, formerly known as Thelma. You can say that.
No.
Felicia is the one from season 1, episode 4, The Right Triangle.
Oh, with the little bob,
Yes.
the first short-haired love.
She is the love interest in that episode when he uses the Lombardi method.
Oh, you're so right.
I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. I watched this episode like 5 times to be honest. So I was scrutinizing every single line trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Trying to unravel the thick web of this show.
Yeah, it's good that they have some continuity.
This show actually remembering its characters.
It's unbelievable.
Back in the barn with the boys, then once they sort of deduce it's Dobie, just this woman walks in. I didn't really understand who it was in relation to them. Like, is it like one of their... I felt like it was like one of their mothers. She was like, hurry up, guys.
He calls her babe.
Oh.
One of the guys calls her like darling or babe.
I guess you can call your mum that.
I think it's one of their girlfriends. But she does look older.
Yeah.
But guys, it's Mother's Day. We can call her Mum Babe. I reckon.
Alright, so the MILF walks in.
Yeah, because in the next scene, she's wearing like furs and stuff. She just looks like so much older.
Yeah, and she compliments Dobie's maturity.
Yeah, it was just weird. She's sent from the Webster's boys to go strike at the heart of Dobie Gillis and get the information where the goat is with her charming good looks.
Yeah.
She introduces herself as Vivian Bardot. Do we know the reference?
No.
That's being made there? It's a reference to Brigitte Bardot. And she's doing like a Brigitte Bardot impression. That's why she's talking like that.
Yeah.
She was a French actress and singer who, along with Marilyn Monroe, was basically the archetypical blonde bombshell. The term sex kitten was originally her nickname before it became a gross general term. You might remember that from in last episode's Tuesday Weld-schmertz when I mentioned the movie Sex Kittens Go to College.
Yeah. Is she in that movie?
Tuesday Weld, yes. She's in
Tuesday
that
Weld, but not the...
Not Brigitte Bardot.
Oh, okay.
She inspired that movie.
Oh.
Well, her nickname became a general term for what was the subject matter of that movie. And when she walks in and starts doing that weird back and forth dance with Dobie,
Yeah, the forward and backwards.
the soundtrack is the Dobie Gillis theme, but it's mixed with a tango. And it's like a
that's
really
sick.
great scored
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
notice
awesome. For a man who walks backwards, you're awfully forwards.
It's a good bit. And I love when Dobie's like, she calls him mature. He says, yeah, I've been shaving for 13 months.
And then he looks off like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. But
Yeah, there is a moment like that. But it somewhat goes off without a hitch in her favor. They eventually meet up, I think, at the park.
Yeah,
I think-
she says, let's go somewhere more private.
Yeah.
And then you see the lies line up in Dobie.
Yeah, and they go for a walk over to the park.
Yeah, they go to the park. She gets it all out of him in an extremely obvious way. And then...
I love how he sits up bolt straight and goes, 1343 South Elm Drive. like there's a wire or something, you know?
I think, it's knowing, and I like that, but what still confuses me to this very second is that straight afterwards he's like, yeah, I knew she was a spy the whole time, but I just act up around beautiful women. I just don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And they just completely lampshade the whole thing. Like,
Yeah, he tells her the exact address and whereabouts, and then she pisses off immediately. And then just Dobie's friend is walking in the park, overhears it or something, and
Ted, yeah.
yeah.
He's pivotal. You can't get
And then he's like, reveals that he knew that she was a spy, and then he's got to change the whereabouts of this goat. It's just like why? Why would you bother? That doesn't make sense.
Because he says, if I didn't tell her the truth, she wouldn't try to get another secret out of me.
Yeah.
So he reckons that this whole sequence of events is going to happen again somehow.
And you were trying to tell me that this wasn't all for pussy. And Joey be acting like that during it, and you're trying to tell me that that's not what it was about.
He didn't originally steal the goat for that.
Yeah, this is where this episode lost me. I liked it all up until this point.
The absurdism just escalates from here when they try to move the goat, and then they bump into the officer who used to go to their school
15 years ago, yeah.
15 years ago, and they haven't won a game in that long.
Since he was
basically
there,
that long.
yeah.
And he's like, I can't even get through it. It's fucking funny. You know where they won't check for the goat? The exact place it should be in its pen.
Yeah.
But doesn't that put the curse back? Like, I guess... Did they do
No,
say...
I thought
It's-
they pat it.
But they need to wave their hands over the top of it or something like
How
that.
do
at
we
the
know
game.
that is what is giving them the good luck? Maybe it's just having the goat that gives them the good luck.
Yeah.
I don't know. They just assume because I think they've seen the team go pat it or wave
Yeah,
their hands
it's
or
that's
whatever.
established at the start of the episode. That's like
No, I mean, how does the
thing.
team know?
That they pat it.
No, how does the team know that the padding is what gives them the luck?
Well,
How do you know anything like that? You know? How do the Aztecs know if you cut out beating a man's heart and sacrifice him to the sun that it's gonna rain? You know.
They haven't won a game in 15 years, so they're going to make up any kind of
Yeah.
excuse like it must be this, it must be this. In fact, the episode, I mean, we'll get to it, but the episode calls out that the luck really had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, it might be the fact that Webster has the goat back that gives them the luck back.
I don't think I think the messaging might be lost on you here. I think Webster's just fucking rule at this sport.
You're right, Cardo.
72-0.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Dobie Gillis is a world without magic or any kind of fantastical themes at all. It is a mundane world.
Grounded, I would
It's
say.
the magic of love. With that cop scene, he's also... I got like an instant flashback of that video. So they've got the goat under this rug, and the cop walks up and is like, what do you got there? And they're like, oh, a dog. There's that video going around where the guy's walking alpaca down the street. And they had,
Jamie, pull this one up.
I haven't seen this.
yeah, you might have to put it in the video, but he's walking the alpaca down the road, and then we'll watch the video.
Yeah, well,
They like just instant flash.
Nice dog, mate.
Yeah,
It's a fucking alpaca.
yeah. That's why I thought Maynard was gonna turn around and be like, yeah, mate.
It's a great video.
What do I even search up?
A man walking alpaca.
Australian.
Yeah.
It's a big dog, mate.
Shove that camera up your ass. Stop fucking pointing it in my face.
I think you're pardon, you fuckwit.
Oh, fuck you.
Go fuck yourself. What do you expect, mate? You're walking a fucking llama.
Hey, mate, go and get some fucking brains. There's a difference between a fucking alpaca and a dumb cunt like you. That's an alpaca, alright?
Yeah, you look like one, you
Oh,
fuckwit.
fuck off, you dumb fuck.
Look at
The line, you're the one walking a fucking llama, is
I love. There's a difference between a fucking alpaca and a dumb like you.
this is our dynamic.
Yeah, that's what that scene reminded me of.
Man, it turns around and goes.
Pretty sick dog, eh? Yeah, we're taking him to a psychiatrist. He thinks he's a goat.
Yeah, after it's been revealed. Senseless.
But Maynard always introduces himself as Maynard G. Krebs. But to this cop, he just introduces himself as Maynard Krebs. No G. So maybe he thinks that he's going to get away with it somehow because there's some other Maynard T. Krebs out there somewhere that he's going to...
Maybe he's eliminating all possibility of the word goat even entering this guy's mind. So he's eliminated the G from his middle name.
He's doing advanced suggestion.
Yeah, he is. He's Darren Browning him.
But yeah, then they have the football game.
It's
How does it get out that
It's-
Dobie was the one who...
I forget. But everyone does find out that it was Dobie, Maynard, and
Randy.
Randy.
Come on.
That have stolen the goat.
Oh, it was Ted because... Oh, wait.
It probably was Ted because he talks to Ted in the park when Vivian
Yeah.
steals that information, and so it gets out that way.
Yeah, because Ted was already spreading the word around
Mm.
earlier on when he... It's kind of weird, that scene, because at the start, when Dobie and Maynard walk into the malt shop, Ted is sitting in the booth with a girl, and then he sees them, and he gets up, and he tells them, and then he's like, oh, I gotta go spread the word around, and he runs out, and then the girl gets up from the booth and follows him out.
I didn't notice this.
Neither.
I watched it a few times, just trying to understand. Ted's a strange guy. I wish Ted would come back. Randy, I don't know. I feel like he's a one and done.
Yeah. Ted's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they find out the Dobler is, as I refer to him, covered in chickers.
Yeah.
There's no room for Ted to join him, as we mentioned earlier. He's standing where a girl should be. He
Yeah.
has to fuck off.
They're all fawning over him and saying they want to go to the big dance with him after the football game.
I'll take you. And you. And you. And leaving no one, like Ted, like, okay, really, Dobie? There's like 6 fucking girls here. Ted can't just have like one? Like go to the
Maynard can have one.
Maynard refuses.
Yeah.
Watching the last episode, I was sort of heartbroken because I thought like, oh, Maynard hates girls. I love this. He's like a true cell, and then he falls in love with a woman, and then in this episode he redeems himself.
Yeah.
Dobie says Maynard did it too. He helped us, and then one of the girls turns around and says, "Maynard, you're a hero," and kisses him. And then he pushes her away, being like, "That's a habit-forming stuff I heard.
Yeah.
Get it off me."
That stuff's happening for me. So good.
Yeah, he redeems himself.
So they go to the game, they're all pumped. And to not score a single point.
So the average NFL score in 1959 was 21.3. So 72-0 is an absolutely ridiculous schmozzle. That would be like in 2025 if an Australian footy team beat another team 284-0. This is why I think that having the GOAT on their side, when they brought the GOAT back to Webster's agricultural department and hid it there. That reinstated
You're circling back
the
to
Indian
this.
sign.
We're circling back to this.
I need to prove my point.
It doesn't matter because at the end of the episode, once the game's over, they leave the goat with Dobie and Maynard. Webster's team is like, we don't need that fucking goat anymore. Like, keep it.
True.
Yeah.
Unless it's like...
They explicitly say, we do not need this goat to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
But how do they know that's true?
They don't.
And then-
Maybe in the next season.
When Maynard gets the goat back, he goes, I'm Maynard G. Krebs again. And he looks into the camera and winks.
Yeah.
We don't know yet what the G stands for. So maybe
Here's the fucking goat.
he is the
And he's got
true
the
seller of
scruff,
this show.
like-
Yeah. Would you throw out a fellow beatnik?
So, here's a part I don't get. I mean, I get why they did it this way, but like, I want to talk about the logic of this. The women are impressed with Dobie because he's daring and brave enough to steal the goat. But then they ditch him because the goat didn't manage to do anything. But that doesn't make him any less daring or brave for doing the heist in the first place.
That's true.
He's still all of these things. It's not, and he didn't play in the footy team. It's not, none of this is Dobie's fault that they lost. There was a superstition around the goat. He fulfilled his duty. And then, so they lost anyway. That's not Dobie's fault.
Well, they didn't just lose. They got, like, stomped. They got, like...
Maybe...
And maybe the women were, like... Because they didn't have the goat. It is said... that Maynard says halfway through the game, at the football game to Dobie, that...
Oh, they were angry.
That they were so mad the goat wasn't there, they were going to clobber them. And, like,
so that fired them up.
Yeah, and so, like... did the opposite of what it was supposed to do, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe the goat is a bad luck charm, and they were making them play at like half.
Yeah.
They were still
It
beating
was
them.
holding them back. They would have won 30 years in a row.
Yeah. What a time to like, because Indian given is another
Yep.
phrase from that time, being like a gift you didn't want.
No, it means
And then-
when you give somebody something and then you take it back.
Yeah.
Are you dead set?
Yeah.
Pretty sure. It's from like the Seinfeld episode. I'm looking up Indian giver right now. Let's not go
It'd
with
be like, we'd trade you a
AI.
bag of beads for the land, and then be like, oh, you have the beads. Then they'd be like, what are you doing with my land? I want it back. Like...
This is from Wikipedia. Indian giver is a phrase used to describe a person who gives a gift and later wants it back, or who expects something of equivalent worth in return for the item. It is based on cultural misunderstandings that took place between the early European colonists and the Indians in North America with whom they traded. Often, the Europeans viewed an exchange of items as gifts and believed that they owed nothing in return to the indigenous people. On the other hand, the indigenous people saw the exchange as a form of trade or equal exchange, and so they had differing expectations of their guests.
Well, there you go. Indian given and Indian sign. Sign of the times.
There's also an Indian summer, which is like a random heat wave, like in the middle of winter, and you're like, what? It comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, right. How'd that even become like... Where is the Indian...
It's hot over there.
It's like...
I think that's like it, right?
That's a peculiar one.
The first sentence of the etymology section on Wikipedia says, the late 19th century lexicographer Albert Matthews made an exhaustive search of early American literature in an attempt to discover who coined the expression. So let's not get into
None
that.
of this is making the cut.
Yeah. You guys see that there's like stock footage when the football game is playing of like guys running out into the field and then playing the football thing?
Is that stock footage?
I'm pretty sure, I would assume so. But there's like policemen on the field.
Whoa.
And they've got like guns holstered.
What?
That's what made me think it was like stock footage of like a bigger like actual like national team or something like that. Because it just looks like out of place and...
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I was like, can't be a high school game or for like a local town or whatever. Like it's...
I was looking at how they had 2 cheerleaders. Just
yeah.
just one man and one woman going, yeah!
No, I think that checks out because like they didn't use a real scoreboard. They just used like a splash of the score, and then in the shot of them in the crowd, you know, it's not like someone comes up to them from the field or anything. So that could have been shot separately.
Yeah, it looks like it's been like split up. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is magic in the Dobie universe after all. It's movie magic. Anyway, it's time for You Rank.
Len!
If you thought this episode was the greatest thing you've ever seen in your life, you would give it a great tawny animal. If you thought it was pretty gosh darn amazing, you would give it a real human being. If you thought it was just slightly above average, you would give it a good buddy. Finally remembered that tier. If you thought it was just okay, you'd give it a no offense, none taken. If you thought it was a little bit below average, you would give it a work! If you thought it was pretty damn bad, you would give it a nasty, nasty boy. And if you thought it was the worst thing you've ever seen in your life, you'd give it a I gotta kill that boy, I just gotta. And I have, for the first time, remembered every tier.
Woo!
What would you rate this episode?
I reckon this is a good buddy. It's pretty funny. It has a lot of good Maynard lines. I love the bit where Dobie's like, girls, luscious, creamy creatures. You know how I feel about girls. And Maynard's like, the same way I feel about Stan Kenton. Dobie's like, Maynard, don't a girl's lips mean anything to you? And then he says, if they can play a hot trumpet, I'll listen. And Maynard walking into the football game with that big, like, furry pimp jacket.
What's the go with that?
It's just the way he dresses there.
That's him, bro. That's just Maynard. Yeah.
He has all these raggy clothes with holes in them and then a big furry pimp
Huge,
jacket.
like, Parker-esque things. Isaac, how did you feel about the episode? Now, remember, if it's the best thing you've ever seen, you'd give it a great tawny animal. If you thought it was pretty damn great, you'd give it a real human being. If you thought it was above average, you'd give it a good buddy. If you thought it was just average, you'd give it a no offense, none taken. If you thought it was slightly below average, you'd give it a work. If you thought it was very much below average, pretty damn bad, you'd give it a nasty, nasty boy. And if you thought it was the worst thing, it should be struck from the record, you'd give it an I gotta kill that boy. I gotta kill that boy. Just gotta.
I would give it a work. Because,
Really?
Yeah, it just loses me in the last half. And I think there's like that trope with like the mascot thing I don't really like so much. Like I sort of knew where it was gonna go until like they just sort of give it back. But yeah.
I thought it was a bit weak when they just put it back where it came from.
Lost all at the end of there.
I think I want to give it a tier, but I just can't remember the tiers.
Isaac, do you remember the tiers?
Why don't you?
If you really liked it, you give it a great tawny owl.
So that's what I said in episode 1. It's great tawny animal.
If you... No, I've lost... I can't go through.
Well, it's a good thing I just remembered the tiers. So I am going to give this one... I'm going to sit in the middle of you guys. I'm going to give this a no offense, none taken. I agree that if it kept up the first half with the exciting heist, that it would have probably been up there for me because it was feeling...
Yeah, that part is
Yeah.
really good.
Classic. I love Ted and Randy. They're absolutely wonderful characters. But yeah, no, it's neither here nor there for me.
I also didn't like Vivian. Like normally I sort of like can see why Dobie like is like interested in these girls, but she was just like, I found her like annoying the way she was doing that impression. I guess that's why she was so annoying, because she was like playing this like character. It was just
She
like
clearly had like disdain for him. Like in her eyes, she did not look attracted to him at all. She like was like just looking down on him the whole time. But I suppose it's apropos for Dobie to just see the beauty and not really pick up on the social element.
I think any attention from women is worth it for Dobie, no matter what it comes with.
Yeah.
Unless it gets in the way of his friendship with Maynard.
God forbid.
That's it for episode 4 of the only podcast about the many loves of Dobie Gillis. I wonder if we're ever going to have to stop calling it the only podcast about the many loves of Dobie Gillis. If somebody else makes a podcast about the many loves of Dobie Gillis.
Well, you know, Isaac might go rogue and make his own.
He's going to go solo.
I'll start this like a couple episodes ahead of you and just like you just really sort of trample on like untouched grounds.
Yeah, you'll bank him the way like most podcasters do.
Yeah.
You'll do like 3-4 episodes in one session. We do them weekly. We space them out so that the energy is good amongst all of them.
Yeah, I hate when you listen to... You're like, oh yes, the new episode of the podcast is out. And then you hear it, and you can tell that they're like...
It's like number 4 that day.
Yeah, they just like slowed and they're like,
They're like, just like, all right, let's get through this. It's like, no, let's cherish this.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Make sure you leave a comment.
Yep.
If you thought that this episode was below average, give it a hashtag Team Isaac. If you thought this episode was above average, you're going to give it a hashtag Team Len, and I am going to be a bench warmer on this one. If you thought it was just average, I don't want to hear it. There's no third team. You're either Team Len or Team Isaac. Alright? Pick him.
There's like no Pokemon Go.
All right. See ya.
See you guys.